Welcome to Wembley Arena for the first international gymnastics event of the year, a year that reaches its climax in October with the World Championships in Rotterdam. Now today at the Vitalite Champions All tournament, we've a chance to see some of the contenders for world honours. Altogether, we've 19 top gymnasts taking part from 10 countries, and there really are some outstanding performers here. Among the women is one of the most exciting gymnasts in Europe, Camelia Voinea of Romania, 17 years old and the one most likely to challenge Soviet domination at the Worlds. Her closest rival today is likely to be the Bulgarian national champion, Boriana Stoyanova. She's the former world vault champion. But what can we expect from the top Soviet youth gymnast? Tatiana Groshkova is just 14 years old, but already a force to be reckoned with at international level. While British hopes are pinned on the national champion, Lisa Elliott. I wonder how far she can consolidate the promise of 1986. Well, with me now is a former British champion, Suzanne Dando. Let's talk, first of all, Suzanne, about Lisa.
Lisa, I was very impressed. I actually got to see Lisa at the British Championships when she took the title. And surprisingly, she hadn't, just prior to that, she hadn't entered any major national competitions. And she got herself into the British team, which competed in the World Championships. And then she went on to win the British Championships. So a very talented gymnast, and nice to watch, lovely to watch.
What hopes have you for Karen Hargate?
Karen was obviously runner-up to Lisa in the British Championships. I think Karen and Lisa will be competing quite often against each other in 1987. And I think she could do very well here. She's an exciting gymnast. Obviously, she's very young still. She's only 14 years of age, so she's still, you know, one of the younger gymnasts. So I think she could even give Lisa a run for her money, but I think Lisa will hold her own in today's competition. But again, Karen will do extremely well.
Suzanne will talk again later.
Thank you.
Right, let's look now at the men taking part in the Champions All.
Karen Hargate, 9.3 for her first vault. Same one again. The straight Sakahara. Held that straight position a little longer and a little better for my money. So maybe an improvement on that first score. Well, Karen has had a tremendous last month of competition. Won an invitation in Toronto in Canada, and then did very well in the Coup d'Excellence in Montreal, and carrying right on with it here. Yurchenko, look how she holds that straight position. Beautifully landed. 9.5, a great start for her. High score from Monica Kovaci from Canada. She got 9.6 for her first vault, having made a large step back on landing. She can control it. And it is the same vault, and that's better for my money. That full twisting Yurchenko, a very difficult vault. That's why they marked her so high, and she landed it much better the second time. Now from the front of the horse, there's the round off to start with, and the full twist as she comes backward off the horse, and the score, 9.7, a terrific start for her.
Trip to the United States. Tell us about it.
I went to California to train with John Peters for just over a week, and then we went to Washington, where Andrew and I both competed in the America's Cup, and I came 9th, which I was very pleased with. Then we went and did the first round of the pairs competition, and I did my Yurchenko vault for the first time, so I was pleased.
What do you think you actually gained then from the trip?
Well, competition-wise, I was pleased to try out my Yurchenko vault in a competition such as that, and the training situation was very good in California. Get to train with different gymnasts, that was really good.
Are you fit? Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite fit, although a few aches and pains, but not too bad.
Lisa Elliott salutes the judges. She just heaved a big sigh of relief. 9.55, a tremendous mark for her first vault. Now, can she better it? Same vault again. For me, just about the same. The straight Yurchenko, just the one little step back in landing. Well, Lisa really in top form. She's got exactly the right shape for a gymnast. Tall and slim, very athletic. The Yurchenko there in the straight position. And my goodness, it looks even better in slow motion. Tremendous second flight. And she's got the reward, 9.7. 9.55 for Tatiana Groshkova on her first vault. She really has got to get flight off the top of the horse. Very difficult for such a little girl. Oh, and that was better. Terrific vault. Really got some lift that time off the top of the horse. Tremendous effort this by the young Russian girl. Great speed. Has to get tremendous lift. There, the round off onto the horse, and then the full twist. Look how she holds that position. And just a little tiny step backwards. 9.7. She joins Lisa Elliott in the lead. From Romania, 9.45 for her first vault. And she's seen some pretty high scores going before her, so she needs more than that. Oh, and Yurchenko, got to work it out myself, 1.5 twists there. Trying to go for those extra tenths. Here she comes. The round off there. And then 1.5 twists after she'd put her hands on the horse. And Voini has done it. That gamble paid off. 9.7. She's up with the leaders. Boriana Stoyanova, right at the end of this first rotation for the women, world champion on the vault in 1983 in Budapest. And she's seen some very high scores. And what she got. Stoyanova very powerful on the run. Half turn onto the horse, the full twist off. Not that high, but very, very accurate. Lands at 9.6. The end of the including her own Lisa Elliott, all tied with 9.7. We'll take a break there. As Suzanne Dando, she began really well with 9.5 on her vault.
She did, yes. I think, oh good, she caught that because she had a little bit of trouble in warm-up. She actually missed that, but I'm glad to see she executed that quite well. She's keeping the routine moving, which is the main thing, without any stops. Coming up to a dismount, long swing, and double back, and quite a good landing. She executed that quite well.
Monica Kovaci from Canada. 9.7 on the vault. Can she keep that going now on the asymmetric bars? Tremendous pirouette there. Really complex start to this routine. She executed it beautifully. And the double summer dismount. She really is a remarkable gymnast. Yang Yan Li from China. I would think the asymmetric bars, her favorite piece of apparatus. Chinese, very graceful.
Actually, John, I think that the Chinese do excel on the bars. They are very good. I think they probably lack, if anything, in any areas in their strength, particularly in vault and tumbling. But as you can see, she's done a good routine there.
Graceful lines all the way through it, and plenty of difficulty in there. Lisa Elliott, one of the joint leaders after the vault. This competition's so tight, she needs 9.75 to stay in the lead at the end of the second round. Suzanne, this women's competition already looking something very special.
It's very, very close. Lisa's actually the current national champion. As I say that, she touches the floor, but she's the current national champion on bars, and I think she was probably looking to execute a good exercise here, but she's probably lost about 0.3 for that touch on the floor. Building up to dismount now. Long swing. Good dismount, solid landing.
Well, a very clean exercise from Lisa Elliott, apart from this one mistake. There's the Jaeger somersault, and as she drops to the low bar, just trails that right leg on the floor. And the judges spotted it. 9.4 she scores. Yeah, from Romania. Jaeger somersault. One of the great bars workers. Trains in Bucharest with Katie Szabo and little Daniela Silibash. Really are a trio of gymnasts that would be tough to beat, even by the Russians. And the double back to finish with, beautifully controlled throughout. Well, Boriana Stoyanova from Bulgaria finds herself down in equal 5th position after the vault. And that must be a surprise when you were the world champion on that piece of apparatus in 1983. But she's only 0.1 behind. But this women's competition already looking as if it's going to be something very special indeed. Pirouette there in handstand. Kachev. Straddle over the bottom bar. Shoot front half twist. The rhythm was good, the content was good, and she finished absolutely accurately. Joint leader, Monica Kovaci from Canada with Boriana Stoyanova. Lisa Elliott in 4th place, almost in the medal. Down in 3rd place after 2 pieces of apparatus, the halfway point in the competition. It really couldn't be tighter. She just 0.05 off the lead, but Monica Kovaci and Boriana Stoyanova in front of her. But now all that intensive training really coming into play. It's looking very much as if it's going to be the girl whose nerve holds best on this piece of apparatus that is going to win. That was beautiful. The front somersault and not even a minor readjustment on the landing. This is where all the practice comes to fruition. Well, she came off at a funny angle, but she landed it safely. The double tuck back. Fang Min, leader of the men's competition, to the vault. One chance only. Oh, and there it went. An incredibly complex vault. But he paid the penalty. He pays the penalty, but it's so difficult, he still scores well. 9.25. Lisa Elliott to the beam, one of the most important exercises of her young gymnastics life. The Yurchenko mount. Just one little step backwards, but it was safe. In 4th position at halfway. But Stoyanova came to grief. And if she doesn't, she'll take herself into a medal position. somersault. That's 2 somersaults safely landed. Double twist landing, she held it together. She went a little offline on the split leap. There was a lot of tension up there, but she got all the way through, and that's the mark of a really good competitor. Congratulations there from Karen Hargate. Tatiana Groshkova from the Soviet Union. The Yurchenko mount. Now, if this little girl performs everything she's shown in practice, you're in for one of the great beam exercises. Really has some sensational new elements in her program. There's one of them. Oh, and she has landed that perfectly every time in practice. The flick into the full twisting back somersault, and she comes off on it. What a pity. So difficult. Ooh. Held on to it though. And look at that, another sensational new move. A flick-flack across the beam. You can't imagine how difficult that is unless you see it in slow motion. And a full in back out to finish with incredible difficulty in that routine. That time it didn't go quite right for her, but even with that fall, I'm sure she'll get a mark that's up in the 9s. Totally new move here. Look at that, a flick-flack across the beam. She has to take off, pushing herself out forward to come down from the vertical back onto something that's just 4 inches wide. Yan Li, the Chinese champion, to her 3rd piece of apparatus, the beam. Flick-flack, then the Corbett flick. A little offline as she went into that one. Controlled it well. Nice accurate dismount, the double tuck-back somersault. Just that small mistake in the middle. Coach is delighted. Mariana Stoyanova down in 4th position at the moment, out of the medals. She was the bronze medalist in the floor exercise in the 1983 World Championships. Now, can she reproduce that sort of form to bring herself up into the medals? Sensational start. Using every inch of the floor space for that double layout back there. Well, she's not the most graceful of gymnasts, but her tumbling is absolutely sensational. A layout double back, a full in back out, and the double back there to finish with. Tremendous stuff from Boriana Stoyanova, but is it good enough to pull her up into the medal positions? 9.7 from Boriana Stoyanova. She knows that's put the pressure on her to hold on to that silver medal position. She needs 9.45 to stay ahead, but she's been in marvelous form so far, and she's certainly capable of it at her best. Safely landed. Come on, Lisa, let's have another double somersault. There it is, beautifully landed. Tremendous performance there from the Surrey girl. Great performance. At last we've produced a gymnast with the style and the grace to compete with the world's best in that field, and also with the difficulty in her tumbles to go with it. Well, but a tremendous start for her, and she went on like it. And the score's just there now, 9.8. What a performance from Lisa. Yeah. It's going to be a tremendous day for British gymnastics, but Camelia Wojnia needs 9.55 to beat Lisa Elliott, and one mistake, and we've got a winner. Double layout back, very difficult. She didn't do it very well, though. Totally different approach to the dance, a staccato pattern. Oh, that was sensational. Double tuck back and then punch front straight out of it. Wojnia, the silver medalist in the World Cup. So you know what Lisa's up against. many people, myself included, thought she should have won the gold medal in that competition. Here it is. If this one's safe, then Voinia's got it. She's landed it safely. I'm sure that's the goal for her. And look at Lisa Elliott, a wry smile. The quality of that exercise from Voinia, I'm sure, has guaranteed her the gold. But what a great performance by Lisa Elliott. Well, the middle tumbling run from Voinia, 9.75. That gives her their confirmation. The women's winners of the Vitalite Champions All. First place, Camelia Voinia. In second place, Lisa Elliott. And in third place, Boriana Stoyanova. What a scalp for Lisa Elliott to finish in front of the great Bulgarian. And a tremendous competition, too, for Karen Hargate, back in sixth position.
And with me now, our hero from the women's competition, Lisa Elliott. Well done.
Thanks very much.
You must feel great.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with my performance today.
So much depended on the floor. That must have put you under a bit of pressure.
I think I felt most of my pressure on the beam. I was nervous. That's normally my worst piece. So I was just trying to keep steady on the beam, really. Then when I got to the floor, I just went out and tried to enjoy it, although I was really tired at the end.
Had I said to you before the competition started, you're going to get a silver, what would you have said to me?
I think I would have fainted.
So you feel absolutely terrific now. It's set you up for the year.
Yeah, I'm very pleased.
So a great day for the British. Suzanne, I feel uplifted.
So do I. I'm so thrilled for our British competitors, because I really do think that this is probably the best Champions All that British competitors have had. And I mean, obviously to Lisa and Andrew for doing so well, but even Karen and David, both in sixth position, was very commendable. Brilliant competition.
And you genuinely feel it shows their worth in such great opposition.
Exactly. I mean, they did have tough competition today. They've worked hard. They've showed, as I said earlier, good competition spirit, good strength in their attitude, and they just pulled out all the stops today, all consistent, and no glaring mistakes, and they held the whole thing together. I'm so impressed with them, and it just shows where British gymnastics is going to.
So what does it say for British gymnastics?
Well, it says, watch out, Eastern Bloc countries, here we come, because we've got, obviously, the World Championships coming up in October and the Europeans in May, and I think that we're going to stand a very good chance to do well, individually and as a team, both men and women. Excellent.
A very optimistic note on which to end.
Wonderful.
Suzanne, thanks very much.
My pleasure.
So it certainly makes a great difference when the British are amongst the medals, doesn't it? That's it from the Wembley Arena. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have here. From all of us here, goodbye.